Hi everyone. Today we are going to do 10.4 trigonometry with unit circle 2. It's most likely it's a review of yesterday's work. So very similar but with different questions. So let's see with the do now problems. So you can do this one, right? So what is it? How do you solve? You are supposed to use Pythagorean theorem. Now, so r squared plus square root of 3 over 2 square is equal to 1 square. But 1 square is equal to 1, right? Hypotenuse. Then you simplify r squared plus square root of 3 squares is 3, 2 squares is 4, is equal to 1. Then if you move 3 over 4 to the other side, it becomes 1 minus 3 over 4 is equal to 1 over 4. How do you solve for r from square? Yeah, you do the square root to the both sides. Then you have two solutions, plus minus. And you know how to separate square root to 1 over square root to 4, and it becomes 1 over 2 plus minus. But because r is a distance, distance cannot be negative, so you take only positive one. All right? So yesterday we talked about trigonometry values, sine, cosine, tangent. You know that sine, cosine, tangent is a SOHCAHTOA. So sine is opposite. Opposite is here. If you draw a right triangle, vertical line opposite is here, right? Angle is here, so opposite is a y. And hypotenuse is 1. Unit circle, we said unit circle, radius is 1. So y over 1 is equal to y. Cosine theta is adjacent x over 1 is equal to x. And tangent is tau r. So opposite over adjacent, y over x. And you know the y is same with the sine, x same with the cosine. So do you remember reference angle, right? One more time. When you have the point is in the quadrant 1, your angle is here. You don't need to do anything. It's the same. Angle and reference angle is the same. You don't need to do anything. But if you have a point M is in the quadrant 2 here, your angle is bigger than 90 degrees, right? Then you need to use reference angle. Reference angle, how do you find it? This one. 180 degree minus original angle become, so this angle when you are in the, when your point is in the quadrant 2. Then you in quadrant 3, this, right? Then in this case, reference angle, how do you get the reference angle? From original angle, you subtract 180 this time. But don't worry about it, you get the angle here, okay? And then quadrant 4, how do you get the reference angle? This one, 360 degree, from 360 degree minus original angle becomes reference angle. So opposite, so whatever triangle you say opposite is y value, adjacent is x value, right? So that way we use a reference angle to get the trigonometric values. So this is example, sine 150 degree reference angle, 150 degrees here, 180 minus 150 is sine 30, but you need to determine is it plus or minus in there. Over here, all sine is positive, right? The sine is positive. It's cosine 210 degree. Cosine 210 degree here, you subtract 180, then you get the cosine 30 degrees. But what is the sign here? All sin tan. Only tangent is positive. The cosine will be negative. All right? How about cosine 333 degrees? 330 degrees here. Then you do this to get the reference angle. 360 minus 330 is equal to cosine 30. For all sin tan cosine is positive, then you get the positive. So cosine 30 is exactly same with cosine 330. All sin tan This example I showed you yesterday, right? Just let's review one more time. So when you know y coordinate is negative half is here, and the quadrant 4, then it's here. X value, you are going to solve for X value here, right? Then you draw a vertical line to the x-axis. You make a right triangle like this. Make a right triangle, and radius hypotenuse is 1. Y value is negative half. You need to solve for x. You remember yesterday? So let's see. So x squared plus y squared equal to 1 square, you know. This is hypotenuse, right? Radius. Then y, you replace y with a negative half. Make sure you put the value in the parentheses. Negative value and also fraction, make sure you put in the parentheses. So negative half square becomes 1/4. You move 1/4 to other side. 1 minus 1/4 is equal to 3/4. And to remove square, what do? You take a square root to the both sides. Then x squared becomes x. And you get the two solutions, plus minus and square root 3/4. To simplify, you separate the two fractions. So square root of 3 and square root of 4. Square root of 3, you cannot do anything. Square root of 4 becomes 2, right? Plus minus. But in the quadrant 4, we said x is positive. So x is square root of 3/2. So we know sine the angle. You don't need to know exact value of the angle. They don't care, right, in this question. So whatever it is, doesn't matter. When we know the y coordinate, we can find out x coordinate. So sine of the angle is equal to y value, which is negative half. And cosine is x/1. So x is square root of 3/2. Tangent is y over x. Y opposite over adjacent. Y over x. Or sine angle over cosine angle. So sine negative half over cosine square root of 3/2, right? Look at this. Like this. And how do you change this division into the multiplication? How do you divide the fraction? You change the division to multiplication and take a reciprocal. So like 2/√3 and simplify. 2 and 2 gone. Then negative 1/√3. But this is the answer. But if you can rationalize the denominator, that will be much better. You multiply same square root of 3 to the both numerator and denominator. The square root of 3 times 1 is square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 becomes 3 and minus. That's the tangent. Everybody understand? So now this one, we have a two error analysis, but in your packet, you will have only A. All right, only A. So this one can you identify what the error is and then correct the error in here. So copy number 1, 2, 3, 4, all the steps and write down. And if you see the questions today in the packet, how many questions are there? You might have 4 questions. So please finish all of them and go down. You will see X ticket. All right. So I will update this one in your Google slide. So you can see the Google slide, you will get it. So do the X ticket and email it to me. All right. Thank you.